So the group by player ID, what it does is that it ensures the calculation is done for each player separately, and then also the order by annual salary descent lists players from highest to lowest annual salary. So let's run this query and see what it brings up. Yes, so this is a table. So this table lists the player ID number and then total payments. You can see that it is annual, so for 12 months it has paid all players for 12 months. It lists the months and year, and also it lists the annual salary, so it calculates all of them. So the next steps, we'll move to our next database, which is the Simpson family database, and we are going to use this query window because I have written down the queries that I used to answer all the questions in this window. So let's jump to the first question in the second database. So before that, I would like to list the stakeholders, and this is a financial advisor for the Simpson family, and I got the same database from the IT143 database analysis course. And the first question is, I want to identify a spending habit. How many debits has each member made? And this is the query that I came up with to answer this question. So how this query works is that it counts how many times each family member used their debit card. So you are going to go through the FBS Visa table, group the rows by each member name, and then count how many transactions each person made. So finally, it will sort the results so the family member with the most debits show up first. It gives us a clear picture of who spends money the most. So we are going to run the query to see. Okay, so we are going to use the Simpson database. Okay, so let's run the query to see. So this is what it brings out. So you can see that Maggie Simpson has the highest expenditure. He has been spending the most, followed by Homer Simpson. So we'll move to the second question. I want to identify overspending or debt risk. Bring up the total amount of debit each member has made. So with this second query, what it does is that it adds up all the debit amounts for every family member, for each person. We take the debt column and sum all their spending. Grouping by the member name ensures we calculate a separate total for each person. So we are going to sort from the highest to the lowest total. So let's run the query and see what we get. So as the result turns out, Maggie has the highest amount. Let's move to the second question. The second question is, I'm tracking education related spending. What is the total amount each member spent in the other education category? So we'll move to the third query that I came up with. So with this query, we are going to look only at the purchase record where the category is other education. Then for each card holder, we add up the total amount they spent in that category. The grouping by a card member, let us calculate a total per person. And also the order by, which is the sorting by the highest amount, help us quickly see who spent the most on education related items. So we are going to run the query to see the results. So after running the query, you can see that in the category of education, Mag Simpson has the highest expenditure and it comes first. So we'll move to the fourth question. So the fourth question was generated by a student from Zaki Curtis. So Zaki Curtis asked the question, how much total spending does each family member accumulate when you combine the debit credit activity from your first transaction table with the additional purchase record stored in the Planet Express table? This is a very nice question. So I came up with this query to answer that question. So after running the query, it brings out this table, and the family member is Maggie. The total debit spending is this, and the total cash spending is this, and then the combined spending. So that is it for this project. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Kelvin Afrem Decker.